Hello and welcome to Dad's Job Podcast. This is your host Adam Neverbarrow and I'm out early taking my dog for a walk. That's how it's going to be very, very hot today. Very hot, especially for us gingers. Get the factor 50 out, do what's needed and protect yourself from the sun at all times. So yeah, obviously take your dogs out for a walk very early when it's not too hot. There's a famous saying, you never see a dog die by not being taken out for a walk. So yeah, don't take them out unless it's absolutely necessary to. But yeah, reactions to Man United yesterday. Well, that was a turnout for the books, wasn't it? A 2-0 win against Man United. To be honest, they're poor, absolutely poor. How this team has got to a Europa League final along with Spurs, despite their positions being 16th and 17th in the league, is beyond me. Yeah, it's just strange. It's just strange. I mean, if it was to the old format, they would have never got to the final. Not in a million years, because you would have had Champions League teams drop down into that competition to make it more competitive. Has the Europa League lost its integrity by not having Champions League teams in it? I don't know. I quite like the idea of if you're out of a competition, you're out. But West Ham done it. West Ham went into a Europa League when they played Seville, who dropped out of the Champions League, and we beat them. But yeah, it's very strange European competitions at the minute. But yeah, all the best to Man United in that final. Yeah, because I can't imagine. I don't really want Spurs winning it. I'm not going to be honest. Won't hear the end of it being a West Ham fan. And I'm saying that on behalf of their Arsenal fans as well, because you can just imagine the comments that's going to come out. Have Spurs had a better season than Arsenal if they win Europa League, because they would have both have achieved Champions League football for next season. Come on, Man United, please win that. I can't be dealing with that. Just thinking about it now makes me sick. But no, I think West Ham played brilliantly yesterday, despite a poor Man United side. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka showed Man United exactly what they were missing, and the fact that we bought him for £15 million is daylight robbery in modern day footballing terms. I think he's been our best player this season, him alongside Bowen, and he's by what's being reported that he's already been named Hammer of the Year, so due to the votes. So yeah, well done. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been brilliant yesterday. I thought Thomas Souček, he gets a lot of stick because of his technical ability, but he can't fault the guy's commitment. He is what West Ham is about. He's coming from a foreign land. He's come over to adapt to the culture. He understands the fan base. He knows exactly what it means to play for this football club. This is something that even Paolo Di Canio said when he became a West Ham player, is that once you're part of the DNA of this club, it never leaves you. And Thomas Souček is that type of player. He's been brilliant for us, an absolute staple. And if I was West Ham right now, he's an asset we cannot afford to lose. I think he contributes to the points tally and goals tally a lot, a hell of a lot. I mean, over the past 2 seasons, I think he's helped earn West Ham 27 points just through his contributions of scoring goals and assists, and he's crucial to us. He's crucial to us, and he's a leader. In my opinion, I think he should have been West Ham captain over Jared Bowen. I just think he's a natural leader. He's the national captain for Czech Republic, or Czechia as they're called now, and he's just got the right attitude. And I always like a centre midfielder as a captain of the club. So yeah, Thomas Souček. Whether the armband should be swapped next season from Jared Bowen to Souček remains debatable, but I think Jared Bowen will always be the poster boy for West Ham, considering he signed a 7-year deal only last season. But yeah, again, talking of Jared Bowen, his goal was taken excellently. I mean, they could be those sort of shots, although they're right in front of goal, they could be harder to score than miss. So he's done relatively well on that to make sure that he scored against the club that he supported as a kid. But yeah, massive 2-0 win for us. I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but I feel rather melancholy about it. I mean, I wasn't jumping for joy. I was happy. I had a very nice Sunday afternoon, I'm not going to lie. But it still feels that it papers over the cracks in terms of the result. So let's see what happens. I mean, when the lineup was announced yesterday, I mean, I was a subject to it. I wasn't very happy with the result. I wasn't happy that any academy players were mentioned in the lineup. And I think the Man United had more academy players on their bench than we had in our entire squad. So yeah, it's frustrating, but in hindsight, now that it's happened, and now that Cresswell and Soufal played, and Guido Rodriguez played, and I called him the modern day Nigel Quasi, but I don't think he had a bad game yesterday. And there was a couple of times he got found out. He got chased down by Kobe Mainoo and lost possession of the ball, but luckily we had Max Kilman, again another player that's been under pressure. He kind of swept up a lot of the mistakes. So yeah, I think they played relatively well. Yeah, that's how I'm very happy. But the lineups in itself were questionable. But as I said, given hindsight, it probably makes sense for Potter to not play our academy players and play the fringe players. I mean, we first got wind of the fringe players would take more of a starring role for West Ham from ex WHU employee on his Patreon site, the West Ham Way. And when he said the mention of fringe players are going to get more of a look in, now on a Monday morning, it makes sense. It makes sense because obviously Sean Whetstone, now at West Ham Football on Twitter, has reported that West Ham are generating between 80 to 90 million pounds worth of losses this season, which is making the summer recruitment very hard. So the players need to be sold if there's going to be further recruitment. So according to the PSR and the FFP regulations, West Ham can lose 105 million over 3 seasons. The PSR rules, I think, change very soon, so that you can spend up to 80% of your commercial revenue. So based on the Forbes, I think West Ham generate around £320 million. So 80% of that, you're looking at around, say quick maths, around £200 million worth of commercial revenue. But when you look at Arsenal, it's all relevant. When you look at Arsenal generate almost near 700 million, and if they've got to spend 80% of that, then they could spend around, let's say, 400-500 million pounds. That's all based on commercial, but that's taken into account the current expenditure on the squad. But yeah, I don't disagree with the fact that West Ham need to sell to buy. I think if there's players there that don't suit Graham Potter's style of play, then they have to go. And yeah, I'd say I'm excited about what the recruitment leads. But what the last 3 games this season, yesterday being the evidence of that, is that you need to put these players in the shop window. You're not going to be able to sell your Guido Rodriguez's, your Mohamed Kudus's, your Alvarez's, the players that want to leave or have no plans in the squad. They're not going to be sold, and you're not going to get the maximum value out of them if they're not playing. Imagine if, like, you're going to Tesco's. If Tesco's want to sell something, they don't put it on the bottom of the shelf. Like their highest value assets, they don't put them on the bottom of the shelf. They don't put them high up high. They put them at eye level. So they need to be. It's a subliminal consciousness, that the fact that if you're going to buy something, you can easily reach it and get it, and you purchase it at the price of what's paid. You don't even look at it. So I think that's the matter. That's the matter of what it is. That all these players are being put in the shop window and being given an opportunity to go, right, okay, if you want to be sold, you need to show the other clubs that you're good enough to play for them. Because at the minute you're not good enough to play for us, but we'll benefit from the results if you play well. So Guido Rodriguez, I mean, again, not really featured much this season, but he played yesterday, and it hasn't done any harm to his transfer value, in my opinion. I think there's been a rumour that River Plate want him in time for the Club World Cup. If we get a fee for him around £8 million for Guido Rodriguez with his wages settled up, I think that's a great deal. I think it's a great deal. Not bad for someone that's played well against Man United once this year. Yeah, say, and Mohamed Kudus, I think, scored a couple of weekends ago against Brighton. Performed well against Spurs. Performed well against Man United yesterday. Again, that's not going to do any harm to his valuation and minimum fee release. So, yeah, I'd say I defend Potter on this. As much as I want to see Scholes play, Alford play, Casey play, Josh Ajala play. As much as I want to see these promising youth prospects be unearthed at West Ham, this season ain't the time for it. We know what they're capable of. We know what they can offer. But next season is when they're really going to be making a statement, really going to be making a push on this first team. Because at the minute, there's no space for them now with the players that we've got. So we need to open it up a bit and we need to release these players. So, Potter, well done on getting your first win in 8 games. Very happy hammer at the minute. Well, very happy hammer this week. Next week might be different. No, I am human. I'm not a robot. So I do have emotions. But yeah, that's it. Over and out. That's my thoughts. Please drop a like and comment on the video below. You can see recently that I joined Claret and Booze, Nick Kiddington, on his stream yesterday. I really enjoyed that. Really talked about my West Ham family tree being related to John Moncur. My thoughts on Graham Potter, that he's here for a fun time, not a long time. And yeah, please stay tuned. We've got plenty more content coming up. This Thursday we'll be reacting to our our season predictions.